todos ustedes en sus próximas aventuras.
You know, thinking about it, I'm kind of
Nos vemos
surprised they
pronto.
didn't have Latin America Spanish already.
Finally, here's the latest update
All
on
right.
Pokemon Legends
go.
ZA.
Here we go. Okay, that looks modern. Okay, so is it modern day? Okay, interesting set of starters. 2 from Johto, 1 from Unova. Definitely going with Totodile. Oh, this might mean we get Mega Feraligatr. That's so cool. A little parkour action going on. God, I'm so happy Megas are back, man. Like, you've got no idea. Okay. AZ's float was actually shown. Alright, so it's modern. It's a sequel,
Pokemon
I
Legends
guess?
ZA is a new title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful vistas. These days, Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants. Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny. The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer. To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive. To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball. If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
The battle UI looks very interesting.
This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand.
So is it...
Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks.
It looks more real-time.
Swap Pokemon if you need to
rather
and
than
find the right
turn-based.
moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution. When a trainer's keystone
Rip the Torchic, I
resonates with
guess?
the Megastone
Well,
held by
you
their
never know.
Pokemon,
They could add
the
him in.
Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its transformation
they'll be
into
in
a
there,
city
don't
that
worry.
belongs to both people
Yeah,
and
like how
Pokemon,
Arceus
who
didn't
knows
have
what
any
kinds
Sinnoh
of
starters.
encounters
It's the
and
main thing.
experiences will await you.
Okay,
Pokemon
so
Legends
that looks
ZA.
interesting.
Coming late
Because,
2025.
like, the battling looks different than even Legends Arceus had. Okay, I don't know what that was.
Pokemon Legends ZA is scheduled to release in late 2025.
Okay, late 2025. That's good. That means Gen
We
10
hope
won't release
everybody
this
can
year.
wait just a little longer for their adventures in Lumiose City to begin. That concludes our announcements for today. Thank you very much for watching.
All right. So that wasn't too bad. Having to carry the giant freaking console around with me. Now, Legend ZA does look interesting. So where is the gameplay? So I honestly expected this to take place in the past. So they're throwing a curveball at me. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to take place in the future," and I'm like, "I don't think it's going to take place in the future." Like I figured based off the original trailer that it would be like you were in the past and you were building up Lumiose City, right, into what it was in X and Y. But it looks like this takes place probably after X and Y. Because it doesn't seem like, what was Lysander's company called? Lysander Corp or something. He doesn't seem to be in the picture in any way. Also, AZ is here, and he doesn't look like a very, very tall hobo. So there's that. He looks like he cleaned himself up a little bit. His float is back. Yeah, it's after X and Y. I don't know why I'm going in circles about that. So yeah, it's after X and Y, which is kind of cool. We didn't see like Professor Sycamore or anything though, which is kind of weird. You figure he would show up since he lives in Lumiose City. The starters are interesting though. Like let me get to starter portion of it. I mean, you know what they are, but let me try to find it. So the starters are Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. Those are interesting choices. Because I guess everyone, myself included, just expected them to take one Pokemon from different generations, but Chikorita and Totodile are the same thing. This probably means we're finally getting Mega Meganium, which is kind of cool in my opinion. Just because of Mega Meganium, you know its name. But I'm going with Totodile. I go with Totodile every time I go through Gen 2. Well, not every time, but the majority of the time I go through Gen 2, I go with Totodile. So I'm definitely going with Totodile. I'm hoping that they get Megas. I'm sure they will, but I still got to put that hope out into the world. But as far as the gameplay looks, you got this parkour thing going on. Like that's kind of cool. It means the traversal isn't just like, it's not as basic. Like you're on the rooftops. You're not just on the ground level doing ground level things. You're actually up there on the rooftop. So I'm wondering if I'm wondering how they're gonna handle like Arceus style flying, like they did with Braviary in Legends Arceus. Of course, Mega Evolutions come back, just fantastic. I love Mega Evolutions. Like, if there's two things I really enjoy about this franchise, it is Mega Evolution and the Hoenn region. Two things. So that's you throw any of those things at me, I'm gonna be excited. But yeah, I'm interested here. I really am. This looks like the sequel that X and Y should have had a long time ago, even if it does just take place in Lumiose City. I will say the art style, not the greatest. It kind of looks like an upgrade from Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know, they're still going for that whole like weird semi-realistic plastic doll type thing. It's a personal gripe at this point, but still, I do have to mention that a little bit. But I am curious to see how this, like, this is all Switch footage, right? Like, pre-release Switch footage. But it should also, I assume they're still making this in mind for the Switch 2 as well, because we are getting that at the end of this year, around the time this releases. So yeah, so I wonder if it's going to look any better, if it's going to have like an enhanced visual port of it in some way. Like the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, so it's not a port, but you get what I mean. The visuals are going to be enhanced on the Switch too. The new characters seem interesting, but AZ, he's the main guy, right? Like in X and Y, I didn't care about him like at all. Gonna be real, because he just didn't do anything. Like he showed up twice. He showed up. He's like, I'm a big, tall hobo man, and then he was in prison, and so you broke him out of prison, and he's like, I'm gonna head that way, and then you fought him at the end. X and Y was a mess in terms of its story, but he's here. He might actually become a good character. He's got his Floet, so I assume now that they're doing that thing with Pokemon Home, where they're releasing like things for completing the Pokedex, I assume we might finally get AZ's Floet. It's been in the game files since X and Y. I just want to point that out. It's been more than 10 years that thing has been in the game files with its own unique signature move, and it has never been available. So I think this is where they're finally going to release it, and I think that's kind of cool. Definitely the villains. They're going to be like, "Hey guys, we're the nice people. We're trying to redo the city," and then these guys show up and they're like, "Well, in reality, we want to kill Zygarde or something, so we're the bad guys." That's what I'm assuming, anyway. I assume these are going to be like the rich, high elite type, we can do whatever we want because we have money type thing. Whereas you and AZ are going to be like, oh, well, we're the small time, underdog type characters. Is this Sycamore's lab? I don't think it's Sycamore's lab, but I'm getting that vibe for some reason. Anyway, I kind of like his design. Like, it's funny because, like, you can tell he's too tall for anything. So, like, he's stitched together a green suit, because you see the green here, and the green here, and then the green on the back here. And then, like, he has this blazer, but he had to cut the sleeves off so that they fit his arm length. That's kind of cool. That's a cool character design. But the battling, I didn't even talk about the battling yet. The battling looks interesting. So let's get to the battle portion. Where was that? At what point in the video was that? Everything looks a lot smoother than it did in Arceus, and as well as Scarlet and Violet. It's like the battling looks real time though. It doesn't look like it's turn-based, but it's real time. It's real time turn-based, but more real time, I suppose. It's weird. It's weird, man. See, and you move your character so that your Pokemon follows you around. Like, I guess in a way it kind of reminds me of Masters, but it's like you took Masters and you took Arceus and you kind of boiled them into one thing. That's kind of cool to me, because like I don't know if you guys ever played Masters or not, but Masters was very like reactionary in a lot of ways. Like, it was turn-based, so like you would pick a move and then your opponent would pick a move, but your opponent could pick a move faster than you depending on like how long you just sat there doing nothing, right? There's no PvP in Masters, unfortunately, but this seems like this is going to be the closest we get to that. But it also has the movement that Arceus had, which didn't really affect the battle. It was still a turn-based battle system, but you could still walk around. But it's like your Pokemon will follow you to dodge attacks and things. So let's actually just hear what they said about it. Let me turn up the audio.
There's a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks.
Yeah, see, like... Okay. Alright, I think that was a good, Like, you see how he just withdrew his Vivian? Like, mid-attack? Like, it's using Flamethrower, and then he's just like, call it back, send out Onix. That's cool. That's very reactionary gameplay. It looks far more engaging than just sitting there and mashing the A button. Like, I'm excited for this. I think this looks really good. Like, I can't really find any faults with it other than, you know, it's on the Switch, so it looks very blurry. But it's no, I'm all for this. This looks really good. It looks like they really polished the game, which is fantastic considering the state that Scarlet and Violet released in. Wait, hold up. 1 second. That's the Looker Bureau. We're getting more Emma. That's cool. The Looker Bureau, okay, so the post-game story was unrelated to the main story, in like any meaningful way anyway. And it involved Looker and Emma. Like, basically his adopted daughter at that point. This is the Looker Bureau. That is cool. So that makes me more excited because Emma was a fantastic character and Looker got like so much character in there as well. That is really good. I enjoy that a lot. Okay. Alright, I was wondering where some of the returning characters were, but this small little tease, I like that. That's very nice. That's very, very nice. Alright. I wonder how she's going to play into it, though. She might be the person to kind of lead you on your way through, I guess, gathering the Zygarde cells. Because, like, those are definitely around. Like, I skipped it. But, yeah, this little squishy right there. So, maybe she's the one investigating that. Actually, you know what? She's also, like, with the Essentia suit, she's also probably the one that teaches you, like, new parkour skills, if I'm thinking about it. So now that's kind of cool too. All right, I'm wondering what other character is going to show up. Clement is probably going to be in here somewhere, right? Like Clement and Bonnie, like they're probably going to be in here. I mean, their gym is in the middle of the freaking city. Yeah, but I mean, there's not a whole lot to really break down and discuss here, I suppose. I'm trying. I'm trying to find every little detail, but so like these little wild area things, I guess. I'll touch on those. One, good with the old school gym aesthetic. You know, the little things that are in the beginning of every gym. That's a nice little touch. I enjoy that. But these wild area type things seem interesting. I think those are going to be like the main sort of gyms, right? And maybe the number on it will be like the level. Like this is a level 1 zone, so it's going to have like weak Pokemon. The level 6 zone is going to have stronger Pokemon. That's what I assume. I don't know if here, let me take a look here. Let me see if yeah, it doesn't look like there's a website for this stuff yet. Kind of sad. I would have liked to have looked into a little more information on some of the characters and stuff, but it doesn't look like they've released any of that yet. So I guess that's about it for now. Like, I want to continue talking. I want to talk about more, but there's just not a whole lot here to really dissect right now. Like, Lumiose City looks good. I don't know how they're going to be able to I guess, kind of top it. Like, you know, if they ever remake X and Y, they'd have to make Lumio City this scale, right? Like they can't just go back to X and Y Lumio City scale. Which, I mean, that was still relatively big, but still, I mean, I guess they could, you know, with everything they did with, you know, Scarlet and Violet. Not Scarlet and Violet. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But yeah, kind of a... I got what I wanted out of this. I will say that much. I did get what I wanted out of this whole Presents thing.